test, and I think here we go. Hey there, everyone. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. We're kicking off our streams with Tribe Comics and Games. I'm Norby, really excited to be able to show you this game between two of our very own Austin 512 Squadron players. We've got Mark on the left-hand side, just cannot put down interceptors, was born with an interceptor in his hand, is going to make sure those things get good. We've got our classic hero, Soontir Fell, targeting computer, predator, crack shot, so leaning into that bullseye. He wants something up in bullseye, he's pushing through a damage with crack shot, he's got predator for a reroll, and he's got targeting computer because, you know, he can arc dodge, and if he uses that targeting computer, he can say, hey, I'll get that bullseye, I'll get that targeting computer. Or, you know, that targeting computer is like omnidirectional, right? So if he's flying past somebody, doing his arc dodgy thing, he's like, you know what? I successfully got out of arc. I'm just going to grab a lock and save it for later. Perfect. We've got a really other interesting I6. We've got Sienna Ree with Swarm Tactics. Great. Yep, she's a cheap I6 at 5 points. Swarm Tactics is going to bring up someone else on the list, like, you know, Gideon Hask, or maybe even that Black Squadron ace. Now, Swarm Tactics is going to require her to be at range 1 of someone, which is kind of an interesting, like, you know, fail-safe, because if the furball happens and everyone gets drawn into, like, a tight knot, sometimes it's kind of tough for interceptors. But the nice thing about Sienna Ree in that case is that Swarm Tactics for her is then going to start proccing, letting her start boosting Volt, Gideon, and the Black Squadron ace up to I6. It's kind of like a... like, you know, objectively nice to have Swarm Tactics and get everyone up to 6, but also helps in that case where you're kind of on the back foot. You can help prop up everyone. And Snapshot, because, okay, Snapshot, sure. Just a reminder, fixed at range 2, does not do it at range 3 or at range 1, and we'll make sure that if someone moves into range 2, she can get off that nice 2-die attack. Cannot mod it, but, you know, we'll still be able to get it off. We have Volt Scarus, also a Snapshot. Yikes. No shenanigans with a Snapshot, so just, you know, going to be able to do his cool ability where he can kind of get passive sensors, move at I5, you know, interceptor, 3-die gun. Gideon Hask, Predator, Crack Shot. Gideon Hask, a really interesting one here, because Gideon... is going to be able to, I think this is the one that, like, rolls an extra die if the other ship is damaged. He's got Crack Shot, of course, to push through damage, and then the good old Black Squadron ace. Amazing, like, objective getter, really cheap. If you try to go after it, well, it's only 2 points. So we've got 4 3-die guns. If we're trying to follow the, you know, the Paul Heaver principle, we've got 14 red dice that he can throw on turn 1. And if he pushes through an extra damage, then Gideon Hask bumps it up to 4, so you get up to 15 dice. So passing the Paul Heaver test there. Looking on the right-hand side. And it looks like we've got, hey, it's chance engagement, right? Yep, and we've got good old chance engagement. Yeah, hearing about the cord maybe being knocked. Let's see if there's anything we can do here. Any issues with our cord? Thank you very much, everybody. I'm going to go and see if I can, you know, get that straightened out for everybody. Okay, sorry for all that flickering, everyone. We're running this camera off of a long USB-C cable, so hoping that we're not getting any interference or anything weird with that. Haven't touched it, so it should be stable, so hopefully we're not seeing any more flickering. Okay, seeing a little bit. We'll have to assess this setup and see maybe if we need to get, like, a shielded cable or something like that. But okay, let's go ahead and take a look at what we've got on the right-hand side. We've got Aaron, a mess. We've got a Scum and Villainy Squad. Yeah, let's go, Scum. And we also have a 1, 2, 3, 4. So we've also got a 5 ship list. So this is great. You know, they're doing chance engagement. We've got a 5 ship on the left, a 5 ship on the right. This should be awesome. Okay, and thank you. I really appreciate we've got some, like, help out in the chat. Always better when we have people, like, chiming in, even just, you know, helping us with tech support. Yeah, I can see those flickers too. This is our first one trying out this from the store, so we might just have to put up with these this time. And you know what? We'll do what we can afterwards to try to make this better. So let's see what we can do. Yeah, let's see what we can do. Moving forward a little bit, we have Aaron's 63445 on the right-hand side. We've got Han Solo, Elena's Millennium Falcon, engine upgrades, so getting those great boosts. Greedo, Perceptive Co-Pilot, so getting 2 focuses. Lando Calrissian Scum, and Trickshot. So really nice Scum build over there. We've got Quinn Jast with Burnout Thrusters, Ion Cannon. So that'll be interesting. So the ion cannon just really laying into people. So a tiny little ship, just the little, the interceptor, but with Burnout being able to really jet across that board, and with ion cannon. Oh, hey, and we also got another list. Actually, I've just got an idea. Just to make sure that there's not an interference question, I'm going to rearrange some USB cables. So, 1 second. We might have some audio flicker. And test, and I think we should be back. Alright, there we go. Okay, so I've at least got that. Now, in the event that this is because of tiny little motions in the cable, I am going to lay down some of this nifty gaffer's tape that we picked up, just in case. We will see. So we've got one gaffer's tape put down right here. And we'll keep it on the other side too. Alright, done all that we can over here. Just making sure that we've got our OBS looking good. Okay, looks like we got our mic. Okay, thank you so much, everyone. So, I'm psyched. Love playing X-Wing, love watching X-Wing, love being able to give you all this content. Just making sure we've got OBS going so I don't spend this whole time talking by myself. Okay, we're good. So, on the right-hand side, we're breaking down Aaron's squad. So, we've got the big base ship and Han Solo. So, with that engine upgrade, I'm able to actually, do a good bit, like rocket around the board, able to dodge some of those arcs because he is moving at I-6. So, Sienna and Soontir are only going to be the only ones who can match him at that higher initiative. Quinn, Base, Cad, and Lee Mackay lower, so Soontir, Fallon, Sienna are maybe going to be able to get the drop on those, but we've got some interesting mechanics here. So we've got our good old Dace Bone Arms, Contraband Cybernetics, the Mandalorian Notorious, really going to punish folks who try to take walks on him. Dace being able to break out those ion blasts on folks. Now we've only got small base ships here on the left hand side, so not as mighty of an effect because he's not able to do some crazy ionization. But if we look down, we've got Cad Bane, Zuckuss, Xanadu Blood, Synced Laser Cannons, Marksmanship. So those Synced Laser Cannons, bringing it up from the normal 2-die gun to the 3-die gun, which would be pretty mighty. We've got Lee Mackay. Sorry, folks, this flicker is... I would see that flicker a little bit more. So let me see if there's anything I can do to make that better for you guys. Okay, so we've got Lee Mackay. Oh, okay, and we've got some road roll. So let's see what we've got. Going ahead and taking a look. So no system phase on the left-hand side, so we don't have the fancy thrusters that lets those interceptors move. So, just good old interceptor dial. Beautiful, one of the best dials in the game. So now we're going to start with initiative. So we've got Aaron, some lower initiative ships here. The only one that kind of matches Quinn is that Black Squadron Ace. We've got some middle with Dace and Cad Bane and Lee Mackay. But sorry, I've been just focusing on the technical stuff. I haven't looked at all with how we've set these ships up. And I'm going to take a look at that now because we've got Soontir fell off in a corner, which, doing his thing, hanging out on the... That is... Oh, no, that's Sienna Reed. Sorry, let me take a quick look. I don't know which one of those is actually Soontir. Sorry, folks, I missed that. Okay, yeah, that's what I was thinking. So we've got our two I6s down at the very bottom, so they're going to be trying to loop around, use that high speed, maybe trying to get on the flank. We've got, in the middle, we've got the Black Squadron Ace going up the middle, because you know they can maybe hold that objective. We've got the two other interceptors who can maybe charge on in. This is going to be really interesting to figure out like what those do, because they do have some higher initiatives. Gideon, depending on that road roll, he can definitely outmaneuver Quinn Jast. He's got Dace and Cad Bane, who depending on the road roll, he might be able to move after them. Let's see at the others. We have Quinn Jast rocketing up the middle. We've got some really cool little dice that Aaron's got. So in case anyone's wondering what those dice are, so those dice are token dice. So rather than have to walk around, 5 bajillion little plastic tokens, you can actually just use those, and each side has a different symbol on it, like reinforce, focus, super cool. I'm presuming that's a focus. We don't have any jam mechanics on the opposite side, so no reason to take like a target locker or anything like that. And okay, we've got the BSA rockets forward, takes the evade. Yep, makes sense. He's not he doesn't plan on doing any damage with that gun. His job is just to stay at range 2, maybe kind of hang around near that center objective. Hopefully he doesn't die for naught. So, makes a lot of sense. Takes the evade. What do we have over here? We've got Cad Bane rocking forward. He's got that synced laser cannon, which 100% is on. Now, with synced laser cannon, the text on that is if you've got to calculate, they don't apply the range bonus. I think that BSA might be at range 2. I don't know if he's actually going to have a mechanic here for getting that calculate. He's probably not going to be too afraid of that 2-die gun from the TIE Fighter. So the real question is just what's he going to do here? Is he going to be aggressive? Because he knows that he might be facing down 2 interceptors, some pretty mighty 3-die guns. So what are we seeing come from him? I'm seeing pick up. Is he doing a reposition for us? Let's see. What do we have? Oh, sorry. It looks like we've got a small stall in the video. Let's see. Let's look. Sorry, I think we might have had our video capture device. Let me flicker that. Perfect, there we go. Okay. There we go, everybody. So, gonna do some quick resizing, see if there's anything I can do to make this a little bit easier for everybody. Okay, I think we're good. So, I'm gonna save my profile here. Alright. And perfect, there we go. So, and we're back. So we have, let's see, we've got a linked action after that barrel roll. I am really curious to see what Cad Bane did. Sorry, I'm going to run over it real quick. Oh, okay, I got it. Yeah, so doing that barrel roll and taking that focus. In case you're wondering, wait, what is he doing? Cad Bane does have marksmanship, so definitely some bullseye mechanics on him. Yep, we've got, again, we were saying, you got to worry about those incoming guns from the interceptors. So we have the red interceptor rocketing forward. That red one is... So the red one is Gideon Hask. Well, it makes a lot of sense. Sorry, he's like the lowest initiative one. So we've got Gideon Hask moving in. We've got Cad Bane in the middle. So both of them facing off 3-die gun versus 3-die gun. We've got Lee Mackay in the Y-wing up at the top right with that ion cannon turret off to the side. So she's going to be like broadsiding, orbiting on in. Okay, what are we doing with our other I-5 interceptor? So we have Volt. Okay, this is kind of nifty, like opening up, keeping it unusual, or keeping it unpredictable, so that it's a little hard for Aaron to figure out, okay, where are these interceptors going, which is really cool. They've got double reposition. They've got the ability to really kind of mix it up, keep your opponent guessing. Now, he's got 3 targets for Cad Bane, so he knows Cad's going to lay into someone, but he can figure out, okay, I've got 3 guns, I've only got 1 Cad Bane on me. I'm trying to figure out whether he does a focus boost. Does he think he has Cad and Arc? No, he's just going to leave it at that. So he's going to take that focus. Kind of a little hard to figure out whether he's got him in arc. But now here comes the big one, Han Solo. So just play it nice and conservative. He's saying, okay, I maybe know Cad will take a couple shots, but Han's going to be in the fight soon. And he knows, this is a really interesting one, because he knows those interceptors are going to be trying to do that double reposition, or, take 2 actions per turn. If they do, they are going to be taking down that stress. And then Han Solo Scum really does like it when he's going up against stress ships. So this is a really interesting one. We're going to see how this pans out for everybody. So then we have our I6s. We have Aaron's I6s, I6 on the right, Han Solo, keeping it to the middle. And then, yep, exactly as we were thinking, those I6s in the bottom left for Mark, rocketing forward, using their high speed. Now, he's in an interesting spot between those 2 obstacles. I'm trying to figure out what is he going to do here. Is he going to try to boost forward to set himself up for curling around that rock later? Or is he going to try to, maybe do a bank boost? But that does kind of set him up for maybe, I don't know if he might be a little too far to try to thread them. So he could just say, hey, you know what, this turn, I'm just going to, take it easy. I'm not going to, try to rocket forward or anything like that. I'm just going to go and do a one straight. Just, set himself to curl around it. Also, we'll see what he's doing here. Oh, and we keep forgetting that these interceptors, yep, they can double reposition. So he says, oh, no, I'm going to slam into this rock. It Soontir fell. If he barrel rolls right and forward, he might have Han in that bullseye arc to receive that automatic focus. If he doesn't, he might just be taking a shot from Han, and then he'd have a stress, which could be a little tough. Or he's just going to say, you know what, I'm going to go on in. Yeah, solid choice. Stay safely away from Han. Great idea there. And still, set himself up for a shot. He knows Cad Bade's not shooting at him. He knows the only thing that's going to possibly be winging into him is Quinjast. Now, Quinjast does have that ion cannon, which is something you do have to watch out for, but, it's Soontir fell. He's got 4 agility. He should be pretty okay. Now, we are looking for our next ship, and that one's Sienna Ree at the very bottom left. What is she going to be doing? Is she going to be trying to split that rock? Is she also going forward? Yes, we're seeing the same thing. Okay, so I wouldn't be surprised with her if she does maybe a 1 straight or something like that to try to get around the rock. But fortunately, not being a little bit further away from the center of the board instead of Soontir, she's got more space to move. So she can try to figure out, she can maybe just do that 1 bank. She's got much more opportunity, much more space to work with. So even though she's technically out of the fight this turn, interesting thing to recognize from all this is hey, she doesn't have to be in the fight. If we look at Aaron's list, he's doing a nice formation, moving through these rocks nicely and steadily. So if Sienna's hey, you know what, I'm not under a ton of pressure. It's not like all the opponent's ships are all laying into me on turn 1, so I can afford to also take this extra little bit of time and move on past the rock at my own pace. So we'll see what Sienna does. We're seeing kind of an interesting mirror here that we've got the furball starting to develop in the middle. We've got Sienna on the bottom, and then we have Lee Mackay at the very top. I'm coming! Gonna try to rocket in and lose some of those ion cannon blasts. Yep, okay, doing that bank. And we've got a really nice, 4. The banks next turn are gonna put her right into the rock, but of course she's got a barrel roll, or a focus barrel roll afterwards, so I think she's in a pretty good spot. Not going to be able to immediately use those swarm tactics, but again, with those swarm tactics, our guess was that, oh, okay, so we're doing the, got it. So saying, hey, you know what, I'm taking the smart play, I'm taking the long-term view. I know that this round, hey, I'm not getting shots off anyways, I'm just going to set myself up for a great position. And yes, even though you're stressing yourself, that interceptor dial, right, unbelievable, super amazing. So she knows that she can clear that stress pretty easily. All 2 speed maneuvers are blue, of course. Oh my gosh, so here we go. We got our first shots. Oh yes, we're measuring. Soontir fell, trying to make sure he got out of range. Did Soontir do it? So we've got Aaron marking Han. Of course, measuring from cardboard to cardboard. Looks like we might... Oh gosh. So, looks like we do it. So, it's a long-range one. We do have Trick Shot, and Soontir is stressed. So, Han's 2-die gun goes up to 3 for Trick Shot, goes up to 4 for a stress ship. So, we've got 4 dice with that double focus. Oh, gosh. 5 dice. I totally forgot. This is the dream. Not the best roll, so only 2 paint. Yep, so he's doing that really cool Lando ability where he can actually basically have a soft lock. So Greedos into 3 crits. Now, Soontir's got 3 base, up to 5 for obstructed range 3. Does not have a focus, though, so odds here are maybe 2 evades, so I'm guessing that he maybe takes... Am I good or am I good? Yep, so odds were 2 evades, so he just takes 1 crit. But you know what? He's Soontir fell. This is not the... Ooh, Fuel Leak. So this is not the defensive Soontir fell with the shield upgrade. This is the aggro one. But you know what takes that Fuel Leak? Oh, that does mean that he's going to be suffering additional damage, which basically kind of means he gets 1 shot, like another crit, and then that just pastes him. Fuel Leak really tough when you're an interceptor. So I think we might be seeing some different play style from Soontir fell. So we're seeing Soontir see if he can line up. See, line up Bullseye? So no Bullseye, it seems. Okay, so you're just rolling 3 naked dice from Soontir. He does have Predator, but Predator was not active. Nothing, so just gets 1, and we'll see what we get. Don't expect too much damage yet, yeah, because he's got it. Also, we see Aaron, flexing, rolling those, clear glittery dice. No, those clear glittery dice actually just do roll better, honestly. Oh, hey, we've got Cisco! Cisco! Don't leave! Don't leave! Sorry, I'm going to take a quick drink of my Mountain Dew Live Wire. Okay, so what do we got? So, no half points from anybody yet. Oh, we've got Volt doing Volt things. Yeah, so Volt can use that that ability of his to basically take a strain to be able to perform an action before he engages, which is amazing. So it's before he engages, not at the start of the engagement step. So if, for instance, we have anyone doing I-7 shenanigans or anything like that, he can still always he can still always do that right before he shoots, which is really helpful. He can always gets that last word, right before it's relevant, he can redirect that arc. Sure enough, he doesn't. Oh, that's just really tough. Not good paint. I was expecting at least 1, maybe 1.5. He knows if he actually spends this now and he's tokenless, he might open himself up to be that juicy target for Cad Bane. Because right now, the best target is probably that Black Squadron Ace, because it doesn't have a token. Actually, no, it does have a token. So yeah, that made a lot of sense, because if Gideon says, hey, I'm going to spend my token, then suddenly he's a defenseless ship. Well, okay, game state. So he's a defenseless ship, and then now he immediately becomes the juiciest target for Cat, which is tough because, he's also the higher initiative one. So now you have a higher initiative ship taking that shot from a lower initiative one. It's actually a little bit worse that way because he takes damage, he gets off the board, then Cat's doing an amazing thing by getting rid of a ship that moves after him, as opposed to, shooting Gideon Hask or the Black Squadron Ace, where the value for them is just a little bit lower because they're at that same initiative. So, yep, solid, leaving all that on. He's just, Aaron on his side, charging up that synced laser cannon, rolling 2. We've got our good old 3 agility on the left. Oh. And we've got marksmanship. So, okay, so we got some crits coming in. And this is why... Did we save that focus? Oh! In case you're wondering, wait a second, what's going on? The reason that he did that bullseye was because now he's got dead to rights active. So even though he had that evade, it's actually just a offensive mod because he just pushed that shot through. So we've got wounded pilot and the hit. And now we have him figuring out whether he's going to use... Is he going to do it? What's he going to do? So we have Cad Bane using his ability there. Let's see, what was that from Cad Bane? Sorry, I am going to real quickly bring that up for everyone. We're gonna do let's bring Cad Bane up for everyone. So, after a ship is destroyed, you can spend to perform an action even while stressed. No, so not doing that. Okay, might have been something else that we were looking at. Okay, let's get back to the game. So now we've got the interceptors firing back. So we've got 2 hits coming on out. Ooh, a tough blank out. So that's 2 down on Cad Bane. So Cad loses his shields. Let me upgrade that. So we have Soontir fell, who has 1 more damage. We have Cad Bane, who lost his here. His shields are down. And then we also saw that other damage suffered. Let me check that. Oh yeah, and it was on that Black Squadron Ace. Because, yeah, he was the one, in case you're wondering like, what I was doing, so the Black Squadron Ace is the one who's also on 1. So we get half points for the Black Squadron Ace. Here we go. We've got another shot coming through. And we've got 3 hits coming out from that ion cannon. Not actually hoping to do any damage. Actually just hoping to, And we get a huge number of blanks. That's tough. So the ion pushes through. But unfortunately, so let's see. Where did that damage go? Oh, so that was the one that was on Soontir Fell. Oh, yikes. Okay, so let me rearrange that. So that was actually on Soontir Fell. Let me go to Soontir Fell. So Soontir's on 1. And his points... And so that gives Aaron 1 point for having the Black Squadron Ace. And for Soontir Fell, that gives him 2 more. And we've got... And they've got a blank out from the other interceptor. So that 3-die gun, really, really good, but unfortunately not the best. So Diggin will get scenario points. We've got everyone. Yeah, so we've got. And then everyone gets the scenario. So going back. Oh yeah. Yep, so we've got 3-1, and now we are getting on to our second turn. There we go. Really appreciate this, everybody. We're getting better here. Let's see. Tokens of dead to rights. Yes. That is absolutely it. And Cisco, you know what? You can talk all the smack you want just tonight. I mean, any other night, we're not going to put up with you and your nonsense. But tonight, absolutely welcome. Bring it. I'm going to be doing my best to try to keep tabs on the chat. But let's see. Here we go. So, then I think that's the end of the round. We're on to turn 2 right now. So we got 3-0. Now, here's the interesting thing. So we got those interceptors. They're closing in on the middle. Amazingly maneuverable ships. Better than the sick interceptor. The sick interceptor. Better than the Hawk. Better than the Y-Wing. Honestly, even better than Cad Bane. So we've got the most highly agility ships in the middle, where their agility's kind of going to be hampered a little bit. So kind of curious to see how we get out of it and leverage those really amazing dials on those interceptors. The Aaron squad, who actually put out like a good amount of damage, even though they're in this like nice tight little knot, even though they've left one of their pieces in Lima Kai all the way away on the top right. So really curious to me trying to figure out like what are we actually what are we going through. Sorry, gonna take a quick sip of Baja Blast. Okay, this is tense. So we've got Han Solo coming in, looping around that rock. And we know because of his ability, he's going to be trying to stay near those rocks. So if I was Mark on the left-hand side, I'd be saying, okay, obviously do not want Han to get into... I'm a little weary of Han because he's got that really consistent gun with the Perceptive Copilot giving him 2 green tokens, so that then he can use Greedo and Lando Calrissian to spend one of them for the reroll. So really, really consistent 2 up to 5-die gun as we saw last time, able to punch through that really amazing agility of the interceptor. So we're curious to see how Mark plans around this, because Aaron's probably gonna do, I'm guessing maybe. But that arcs sideways. So are we going to see maybe a 1 straight just to keep that arc sideways so that you can still shoot Soontir? Yeah, I'm guessing maybe a 1 straight from Han. For Cad, if he does like a hard left to try and move to the middle, the interceptor can maybe also just, gently, 1 straight to victory. Dace Bonearm is in a tough spot because if Han wants to do that one, Dace's turret is off to the right. I'm trying to figure out what I would do if I was Dace. Maybe, I know this would have to be really tough because he would, not use his action for a focus, but if maybe he does like a 3-bank or a 2-bank right, and then flip that token around so he can start orbiting, then he'll clear room out for Han. And Lima's all the way at the top. She is just going to have to try to rocket her way in with a Y-Wing style. So I'm guessing something fast, like as fast as you could possibly get. Maybe like a 3-bank, barrel roll or something like that to just try to get in the fight. Because if she does, that might be able to like put her in so that she could wing the top interceptor, and the top one's Volt. So maybe she can wing Volt. So we're thinking some nice steady positions from the right-hand side from Aaron, some like steady, slow movements, except for Lima at the top is going to be winging on in. At the bottom, we have Sienna Ree, who set herself up for some good positioning. She is going to want to maybe try to focus down on Cad Bane, the shieldless Cad Bane. So we're thinking maybe like a 2-bank forward. Soontir Fel on fire, really does not want to get shot. Unfortunately, Han's going to be covering some good escape routes. So if I was Soontir, do we just, YOLO on in and try to say, okay, if I'm probably gonna die, let me see if I can at least, kill a ship before I go. So try to like erase the sick or try to shoot Cad. Really interesting puzzle here for him. But you know what? None of that matters because he's just ionized. It doesn't actually matter what he's gonna do. His dial gets picked. So he's either gonna, I'm guessing probably like a 1-bank left. So either 1 straight or 1 bank left. So maybe a straight. Just to try to get guns on Han, but especially because if Han does that 1 straight, Soontir's just going to be in like perfect juicy bullseye range. So if he focus evades, he can't evade because he's ionized. So he could just double focus. He'll take the focus as his action, and then he'll receive that focus toast and then at start of the engagement phase. And he'll have Predator, and he'll have Crackshot. So yeah, actually that does sound like a bad move. Just take the 1 straight, or the 1 bank. The thing is, what do you do with Sienna? Because she can't really rocket on in as well because she knows Soontir's going to be blocking her. Does she maybe do like a 2-bank to the right and then boost in left to try to get arc on Han and just say, hey, you know what, I'm just going to loop around next turn? Really, she wasn't counting on Soontir being ionized. She was counting on Soontir having a little more space. Could not have planned that on Mark's side, but just, a really tough luck of it how he got ionized that turn. Then we've got Volt on top. Volt does know that Lima might be coming in after, so does Volt like say, hey, you know what, I'm just going to duel the Y-Wing, or does he try to also close in on the furball? Black Squadron A is probably going to try to just jam on in there, might throw a nice block, and they've got Gideon Hask, who, after 1 more shot, Cad Bane's going to be into the juicy hull, which means Cad Bane will be damaged, and will be turning on Gideon Hask's ability. So now's where you start wishing that those interceptors could do some really nice slow movement. I have some great advice here, whether it's a camera bitrate issue, we hit settings, output, video bitrate, or we do enable network optimization. You know what, I'm just going to do some stuff while they're still waiting. So we're going to go to settings, file, settings, output, and let's look at our video bitrate. We're at 6,000. Let's drop this down to 5,000 and see if that changes our flickering. So we dropped our flickering, so we dropped it down to 5,000. And then let's go to advanced and let's look down under network and maybe see what we've got here. So we got the Black Squadron Ace just rocketing forward, trying to maybe throw that block. What do we have from the other 3 from that interceptor? It going in, speaking of blocks, it knows that Soontir Fel is going to go straight or bank. So trying to say, okay, maybe do I get a juicy range one on Soontir Fel? Could be good. Now, no matter what, Soontir, of course, is always going to get that focus if he's got a ship in his bullseye. So here's the real question. If he did that 1 straight, then he'll just slam right into him, get that defensive focus, and we've got Aaron, taking that time, trying to do some measurements. Awesome. Brilliant. I think we've got another little camera freeze here, so let me deactivate and activate our video. There we go. So Aaron trying to figure out what he does here, because he knows that Sunjir can only be going left or right. So this is really, really great. He's taking his time. Oh, what is he? Oh, and we trigger a snapshot. Always double checking your upgrades after a ship moves. We've got some. It's like, hey, where did all those points go on the left hand side with Mark's list? So he just triggers snapshot. So before he even gets to take an action, snapshot triggers. It's 2 dice, so no mods, so no range bonuses for everyone. We just have 2 blank. Rough. So tough luck there. Now he gets figure out what he gets. So rewind it back. We're still in the phase where he gets to pick what action he takes. So let's go through his thought process here. Sunjir's out there going to do a left or a 1 straight. So if he slams into him, he's not going to be able to use any offensive mods. Even though he really wants to use them to try to take Sunjir off the board with that 1 extra health, he could just say, you know what, this is tough. I might just take a focus, because with that focus, he's protecting himself against Sienna Ree rocketing on in and saying, hey, I want to punish you for hurting Sunjir. So that made sense. I would have absolutely done the focus too. So now we got Gideon Hask figuring out what he wants to do. Gideon, okay, so Gideon's going to go forward. Going to say, you know what, I am going to... Yeah, because he did not know that the sick was going to go that quick. He might be planning on Han doing the 1 straight to try to, stay in range of that rock. So that might be what Gideon's doing. And in that case, Gideon is going to be taking a juicy shot from Han, because Han's got that really consistent attack with the double focuses and the targeting computer. So he's just going to be trying to figure out what he wants to do. Takes the focus, very defensive, because he's also got Predator. So he's got a reroll and he's got crack shot. So if Han does that 1 straight, he's in great spot. Now what do we have with Cat? Cat saying, hey, I lost all of my shields. Is he going for the Gator? Is this going to be the K? I don't remember what's on his dial. And I can't see a brilliant use of the Gator. Yep, amazing. Takes the stress. Might even still have that BSA. Well, technically, since they all did straight maneuvers and no one was bumped, yeah, he should absolutely still have him in bullseye. So gets the marksmanship. Still gets dead to rights. Amazing, awesome. Okay, are we seeing that idea where we're clearing the room for Han? Okay, we've got Dace Bone Arm, Contraband Cybernetics. Is he doing anything? Nope. He checks for snapshot. I think he gets it. So we just need the Halo announcer, just snapshot. And what are we gonna get from Volt Scaris? Okay, 1. We've only got 2. Okay, gets it. So odds were 1 on that. So perfectly good. Maybe a little bit less than 1 odds on the Hawk. So let's see, what does he want to do? So he really wants to kill Sunjir. You can hear him talking about that. So he says, he has to figure out what's going to maximize his chances of putting through that damage. He does have the Black Squadron Ace, who's also really, really heavily damaged. So he's got good shots, either forward or the side. He's like, you know what, I'll take that double focus in the event that people just start laying into me, because, Gideon Hask's looking at a really juicy 4 dice shot right in the middle. And if somehow Sunjir, because, Sunjir's going to shoot, if somehow Sunjir and Volt are able to put damage in on Dace, then he's looking at a 5-die crack shot Predator shot from Gideon Hask. Ooh, and it looks like this is going to be another range 1 from that Volt Scaris. Oh my gosh, that's tough. Now, he did that maneuver, probably going to try to just survive. Your interceptors, you don't have a lot of health, so maybe you're just going to take that focus just to be conservative. Yep, no, perfectly solid maneuver. And now we're going to see what do we got from Han Solo. We still have the 2 I-6s. Oh, no, we've got the 5. So, not doing the 3 bank. Maybe, trying to judge that 3 bank would get a little too close for that rock. Now, the question, I think you can hear that in his head. Do I barrel roll in to get a little closer to the fight? Because I know I'm not getting shot, so in an amazing spot. So we were wondering, hey, is it tough to leave that ship out to dry? But you know what? He missed 1 turn of shooting, and he already, came out on top of it. So Aaron already, technically got more points in that first round, even though that wiring wasn't in the fight. So worrying about, I need to jam all my ships up in the middle, or they all need to be in on the attack. So you know what? No big deal. He's just going to go ahead and stay on out. Okay, rolled for stress on that TIE fighter. So this is just a great way, just a reminder for players, including me, of just, hey, you know what, it's okay to spread your ships out, to use that positioning, because even though the temptation might be there to just all rush in and say, oh, I've got to get all my guns on target, we all have to shoot on turn 1. Depending on how your ships are lined up, you might not actually have to. And in this case, he's traded that for a really nice position where that Y-wing, which really does not want to be burned down by a bunch of interceptors, is now very nicely on the flank. You're flanking with a Y-wing. That's really clutch play. And we're probably going to get a really nice ion cannon turret shot right into the... we'll see the range, but we might be able to get an ion cannon turret right into Volt. Soon fell, rockets forward with that, or not rocket, drifts forward with that ion, clears that stress, still has the crit, can take the stress focus and then receive a focus. If I was him, I wouldn't see any reason not to, just because you're going to really want to try to token up. You've already got 2 shots coming in. I think you just are out of Cad Bane's arc, but this way with those extra focuses you're going to try to make yourself a little bit more survivable. Sienna Ree. Did Soontir make space for her? Yep, exactly what we were thinking. Doing that 2 bank in. We'll see. Just barely. Okay. Makes it. Sienna Ree. I take it back. Look through my eyes. I'm a goddess. An amazing book, Lost Stars, by the way. Folks haven't read it. Just truly staggeringly good writing by Claudia Gray. Fills in a bunch of plot holes. Some really nice, juicy romance. Talks some really nice, dog fighting and traditional awesome Star Wars action. Ugh, absolutely incredible. Sienna Ree, star character of that book, now does a very nice maneuver, lands herself right behind Soontir Fel, range 1 to try to push through some damage right into that sick. Maybe strip some of those tokens, help Soontir push through some damage. Well, actually probably not gonna, the tokens won't really help anything, but maybe try to strip a token off of Dace. Actually that'd be really interesting. I'd love her to not shoot the juicy range 1 and instead shoot Dace. Okay, so we have Han Solo. Didn't do the 1 straight. If he knew that that's where the interceptors were, he would probably have done that 1 straight. But instead he says, okay, this way he's got an interesting turn coming up afterwards. But hey, he's still got his arc on these. The question is, what does he do? I think he's just going to do that. He's going to, I hear him saying, I'm going to take a bunch of shots. If he does that double focus with Perceptive Co-Pilot, he'll still get a chance to lay into everyone, and he'll use that Lando reroll. So probably just going to take the double focus with Perceptive Co-Pilot. If he does a boost, his boost would put him on the other side. Oh, sorry. Yawning. I need to have a small drink of Fanta. And this is awesome. So this is where we have these games. X-Wing is just a really fun game, right, to play. But also, when we're here, we're just with buds, you can just go through that decision tree, take a little bit more time, try to figure out, hey, what's the best move? And that's also one of the things that we want to do with these kind of streams, not just get a chance to share X-Wing with everyone, but also give folks these recordings so that afterwards you can say, oh yeah, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Maybe I should just, have done what Dan was thinking. Maybe all those ideas were great. Totally just kidding here. We're looking at Aaron, who earned some of those fancy dice here on the right-hand side with me. I'm just rolling those plain old little red, green little hunks of plastic. I'm just being silly, folks, but this is really cool, giving you a chance to walk through everyone's decision trees, and especially for me and for all of you who are getting a chance to see this after the fact, hearing some top players walk through what they're actually thinking, or at least have me help you walk through what I can overhear at that table, hopefully is really nice. Nice little tool for getting better. Okay, now we're on to shots. So really, really interesting for Mark. So he's thinking, do I just try to lay into the sick? Now, this is the only shot going into the sick, so with it right in front of him, and you've got AM focus. You don't have any other really mods for Sienna, so no snapshot, anything like that that could help, so it's just that focus. Don't really know if she could really try to burn it down. I was wondering if she would be better served for trying to shoot Dace and get that damage in on Dace, trying to strip that token off, but we don't know. So okay, we're doing the range of 1, so we have rolling 4 dice. Odds are maybe 3 hits once converted. Oh no, it's not 3 hits, it's a full string. Spends that focus for 3 hits and a crit. We've got the sick rolling its dice. Not going to be able to use that focus. Oh gosh. Odds were maybe 2 there. So a little unlikely that we see that ship die. I mean, with Sunterfell shooting into it 3 and 3, that might have been it for the sake, but oh gosh. So yes, that's 1 ship right off the board and killed at higher initiative too. So getting back, let's update the stream overlay for everyone. So we have the sick interceptor taken off the board. There, where's that little sick? Sorry, Quinn, we barely knew you. Bip, bip, bop. And Quinn just pasted. So, nice shot, Sienna Ree. In case you're wondering, what was that stress for? So Sienna in the book, spoiler alert, but her lover ends up being a rebel pilot. So they all end up being like, star-crossed lovers. And she's really worried about running into him on the battlefield. And so it's kind of interesting because when she dies, or when she shoots and kills another Persian ship, she's stressed because it might be her love Thane. Oof. Okay. So, Soontir does a great job. Acquires that focus, gets 2, pushes 1 through, and we have damage put down to Dace. This was really, really clutch. So we've got some really, really awesome target priority selection here because we have Dace losing both of those shields, which means he's just 1 hull away from Gideon has to be able to lose that 5-die attack. So we've got Volt Scarce, who still has a chance to put 1 damage into Dace. So the interesting thing here is Han probably can guess and say, okay, Volt Scarce is probably not going to shoot me. I know that Volt is going to want to shoot Dace and put 1 more damage in so that, and so he's like, okay, how do I protect him? I hope that Volt whiffs. And so I help Volt whiff by stripping off that token. Yep, does a great job. Does 2 crits. Yeah, perfect. So 2 crits going into it. So very much Volt's going to have to spend this token here. He's not going to want to absorb a crit. Or, yikes, doesn't have to spend a token because he just gets 1. So we'll have Volt take 1. Oh, and gets a blinded pilot. Ouch. So it turns out, I mean, the goal here was to either strip the token, and remember the goal for stripping the token was to prevent Volt from being able to do damage as easily into Dace and push you that extra 1. Well, the nice thing now is that he can't use it anyway because he's blinded pilot right now. That's what that little crit marker goes on. So now we have him. Yep, he's trying to shoot Dace, trying to set up that 5-dice shot. We've got 4 dice. Takes a strain. Oh, some awesome upgrades, which is going to come in. Remember that strain because we've got that Y-wing hanging out of the top. Here we go. Oh, rolls are just a gorgeous strain. So there's nothing that he can do about this. He knows he's going to be taking damage. He knows that. Hey, takes it. So we've got hit, crit. Onto Dace. So we have Dace Bone Arm takes another damage. And now the tough thing is that I know we've got Gideon Hask rolling a 5-dice shot into him. So now we've got the I5s. So he seems he's got a shot because Lima doing her best to arc in, but that turret is not as powerful as a cannon. So when they added the ion turret, they had to change the barrels and change the mechanics in order to motorize it and allow it to shoot, to rotate. So they had to instead just say, we're going to sacrifice some of that range for being able to mount it on a turret. Now, what basically just means that even though that Y-Wing's done a great job of flanking, it can't actually shoot that ion turret. So, tough. So she is not in an enemy ship's front arc. Sorry, going to have a quick sip of a great drink. So the Y-Wing's saying, hey, you know what? I'm not taking a shot, but actually it's kind of interesting here because I get to use that that ability, even though she's not taking any shots, still doing work, getting that target lock, setting up the really powerful hit, and also still doing a great job of flanking in a Y-Wing. Nice maneuvers. Here we do Gideon Hask. We've got 3 dice, +1 for range 1, +1, so we've got the God shot. And it's like, hey, you know what, Aaron, you're not the only one who do a 5-die shot. Let's do it, Gideon Hask with the focus. This is basically guaranteeing a dead Dace. And Gideon, he does have Predator, yeah. and spends the focus. Basically guarantees it. Nope, that's it. Yep, literally nothing. But now the question is, what does he do at this point? Yeah, so he's just pasted off the board. So we have Dace off the table. And unfortunately, this does get Dace at 4. Now, however, some really nice. The fact that Dace is at such high initiative means that he doesn't have to get killed immediately. So Dace still gets a shot, and of course, he is laying into Soontirfell. He's like, hey, I'm only 4 points. I'm totally die if I take Soontirfell with me. So he goes ahead and shoots. Dace is most likely going right into Soontir. Yep, you can hear him doing that math in his head. It's like, hey, he's worth more. Soontir is 3 dice. Yep, he's one way. He's 3 die with a focus, so he'll maybe get like 1.5 evades. So he just gets 1. And unfortunately, he had blinded pilot from earlier. That's one of those crits. So unless Soontir just totally whiffs, absolutely blanks out. And that focus. And so if Soontir didn't have that automatically acquire a token ability, then that would have been it. So I think we're done with 4s. Cad Bane. Sorry, did Cad Bane shoot? Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, sorry, yeah, taking him off just a little bit early, because Cad Bane still has a chance to shoot. So we've got a range 1 bullseye. So here we go, lay into that black Squadron ace. Marksmanship granges it into hit crit. We got the tie with 3 dice and the focus. Dead to rights. Oh, and he just natties out of it. Rough. I was hoping to scoop up that 1 extra shot. And so let's see where we are. Hey, hoping to see, hey, I can, wing a shot into Han. Every shot counts. I mean, he could elect not to shoot, but, I mean, absolutely no reason not to do it. So let's go, Ty. You can do it from downtown. Okay, 1, goes up to 2 dice and gets it with 1. Okay. And I think I just heard a timer go. So we usually do close it out a little bit early because, some of us have to switch games, some of us got to, move. So they might maybe get 1 more round in, but we will see. So we've got Soontir and Sienna. And Soontir so an amazing thing, Soontir still alive. We were really, really worried that, Soontir immediately takes a ton of damage. Sienna Reeves maybe not in the best position on the right, but, we have a beautiful 2-bank move in. We have Han, honestly, in a bit of a tough spot. So that's 6 points that Aaron has sunk into that Han, which now is kind of out of the fight. If he does, a 1 bank or, somehow, curves around that rock to still get into it, I think he would still get the trick shot. So we're seeing, if I was guessing on Aaron, I'd be seeing, the 1 bank left. And Lima's really got to get into it. So she's doing, a 2, something like that, to get on in. Now, we are going to have to call it here just because, we've got limited amount of time to play today, and so folks have to leave. But hopefully a really nice example of, openings. Looking at how the rocks impacted this, we've got the interceptors who have not hit anything. They very deftly maneuvered through those ones at the bottom. Han still getting those rocks in to use obstacles. That one in the top right, almost a little bit of a problem for him because he has to loop around it and it's going to kind of try to push him away from everyone. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing for Han because even if he hangs out that far away, he still gets to trick shot in, which is clutch. I mean, because again, Han can throw those 5 dice cannons that we saw him do earlier. Lima, maybe a little bit of a different starting position for her, could have had her start off a little bit closer to all of them so that she could have got a little bit more time on target. Score 7-3 though, so neither of them have hit the high ground. They haven't hit 11, which is that that magical number where statistically speaking, once you get 11 points, you're probably likely to win that match. So still some room to Aaron because we've got again Soontirfell on 1. He pops, that's an instant 5 points, pushes him into the lead. We've got Volt Scarus down to 2. We've got the Black Scorner's Ace down to 1. So the thing with these, high agility, little ships, right? It's you just have 1 bad engagement and pop, they're done. Now, you do also have the alternative where Soontirfell just survives on 1. Real interesting question here to see whether he continues in the fight, because the tough thing is we've got the Wyoming kind of out of position, we've got Han Solo, and we've got Cad Bane coming up the rear. Cad's probably going to try to just take off. Actually, Cad's got a really nice, juicy shot selection right in front of him. He's got the Black Squadron he could try to pace. He could try to really hurt Volt Scaris, who's on 2. Gideon Hask could flip around. Talking about, like, positioning. It'll be interesting to rewatch this and figure out whether there's some other things that could have been done with Dace. Like maybe keeping Dace's cannon on the opposite side. And not getting him into range one where he could get lit up that way. But, hey, he got this, scenario points. Yeah, we can definitely add scenarios. But the thing is here is we're ending the game right now. So I'm going to stop this timer. I need everyone a scenario point. Bip. Bip. Oh, yeah. And so the other thing that we're talking about is there's a really tough chain of crits here because Soontir got blinded, which is just really, really rough. And so, even though he had a pretty good die onto Soontir, he was unable to modify those and get that one extra paint in to bring it to 5. Because then, we would have had a very, very different score. And we would have been looking at something very, very different. So we've still got 5 ships on the left, 3 ships on the right. If this was a tournament setting, I really don't know if we'd be seeing a ton more pursuit. We might be seeing a little bit of disengage. Nora's been through halfway through it. Although, you know what, maybe that's a little bit too early. But hey, anyways, folks, I'm going to pause it right now. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead. Thanks, everyone. I'm actually going to be turning this camera, I'm going to be turning this mic off and switching the other table mic on so you can hear our playthrough a little bit. But hey, thanks, everyone. Thanks a lot for chatting through this. Really nice chance to have a chance to kick off these streams. Really appreciate all the comments about folks trying to help us out with all this. I know, I've been both talking and taking breaks because I've been trying to read chat, try to fiddle with the technical setup. So thanks so much for all your patience. These are going to be getting much better, everyone. But it's hoping to give you some examples of some, nice X-Wing from the ATX region. Thanks, everyone, for your patience. I've been Norby, and I think I might actually get out on the table for this next game. And without anyone to run the stream, I think we're going to just leave the lists up and just you'll maybe listen in and hear how we're doing. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that goes. So thanks, everybody. We'll be stopping this one, resetting, and I'll be jumping on next. Thanks.